In the year 1897, Beguncador, a small village nestled near the forests of Purulia in Bengal, was a quiet and peaceful place. Life here revolved around the seasons, the land, and deep-rooted traditions. But this village has a story, one that has been whispered through generations, a tale of a night when everything changed. The night in question was during the monsoon, at the height of Durga Puja celebrations. The villagers had spent weeks preparing for the festival, crafting an ornate idol of goddess Durga and planning a grand procession to honor her. Spirits were high as the villagers gathered that evening, oil lanterns in hand, ready to begin their sacred journey through the village. As the sun set, the festivities commenced. The idol of Durga, adorned with flowers and jewels, was lifted onto a wooden platform. Men beat their drums, women chanted hymns, and children danced with joy. The procession moved through the village, the lanterns casting flickering shadows on the rain-soaked ground. Despite the drizzle, there was an undeniable warmth in the air, a sense of devotion and unity. But as the procession approached an ancient banyan tree near the edge of the forest, something shifted. The drumming faltered, the chanting grew softer. The rain, which had been steadily falling, now made no sound as it hit the ground. It was as if the world itself had fallen silent. The banyan tree, massive and gnarled with roots that seemed to claw at the earth, stood ominously in their path. For a moment, everyone hesitated. Then, as if compelled by an unseen force, they continued forward. The air grew thick, almost suffocating. The lantern's flames flickered, casting an eerie light on the idol. Suddenly, the idol began to glow, not the warm golden glow of devotion, but a strange bluish light that pulsed like a heartbeat. Shadows danced across the banyan tree's surface, twisting and contorting into shapes that defied logic. The villagers stood frozen, their hearts pounding. A sudden, unnatural gust of wind swept through, extinguishing the lanterns. And in the pitch darkness, the bluish glow from the idol intensified, illuminating the terrified faces of the procession. In the blink of an eye, it was over. The light vanished, and with it, the procession. The idol, the drummers, the devotees carrying it, all gone. The villagers at the rear of the procession, who had lingered behind, stared in disbelief at the empty path. Where there had been dozens of people just moments before, now there was nothing but silence. The villagers who had witnessed the event were paralyzed with fear. They fled back to their homes, locking their doors and refusing to speak of what they had seen. But the banyan tree remained, its roots glistening as though soaked in blood, swaying unnaturally in the still air. The next morning, a group of villagers, driven by equal parts curiosity and dread, ventured back to the banyan tree. What they found only deepened the mystery. The ground was littered with fragments of the idol, charred and blackened as if by fire. Strange symbols were etched into the soil around the tree, symbols no one could decipher. Rumors spread quickly. Some believed the goddess Durga had taken the procession to another realm, angered by some unknown transgression. Others whispered of darker forces, spirits tied to the banyan tree, exacting their vengeance. For years, the villagers avoided the banyan tree, crossing themselves or muttering prayers whenever they passed it. On stormy nights, they claimed to hear faint drum beats and chants carried on the wind. Some even said they saw figures in the mist, shadows that seemed to march in an eternal procession. Over time, the story of the vanished procession faded into legend. But in 1963, the tale resurfaced when a group of researchers studying the folklore of Beguncador claimed to have found translucent fragments near the banyan tree. These fragments glowed faintly under moonlight, reigniting speculation about the events of that fateful night in 1897. Today, the banyan tree still stands, twisted and hollow, its gnarled branches reaching out like skeletal arms. Travelers to Beguncador are warned to avoid the tree, especially during the monsoon. The locals, however, remain convinced the procession never truly vanished. They believe it marches on, somewhere beyond the veil of our world, a reminder of the village's unexplainable encounter. The story of Beguncador's vanished procession remains one of Bengal's most chilling mysteries. Was it divine intervention, a curse, or something far more sinister? Perhaps some questions are meant to remain unanswered,